webinar is for the educational sector, and what we're going to focus on is the Microsoft Office 365 offering. So Microsoft Office 365, just a very quick background, contains 4 components: the Office Professional Plus, the Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, and Lync Online. So that basically makes up the 4 components of Office 365 and the offerings that are available. Let me first state that, sorry, we got a little mixed up in the beginning, so I'm jumping the gun. But thank you, everybody, for attending. We will be opening up at the end of the session for questions. We're going to do a quick product overview and then a quick product demo. And I'll be glad to take everybody's questions. I'll try to open it up to everybody in the beginning, but with most webinars, when you have multiple attendees, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But so we'll do the best we can. I like to kind of play it by ear as we go, as to the structure. But past that, I'll go ahead and jump into it. So you got a brief introduction of what the 4 components of Office 365 are, and what we're going to talk about today. And please, if anybody cannot see my screen, type in a chat, and I'll monitor that. Sorry, guys. It helped if I got to the beginning. So basically what Microsoft has done is trying to increase your productivity in lightening your IT infrastructure. So, we're trying to give you, Microsoft's trying to introduce the best collaboration tools for you guys or for the corporate world without giving you the burden of having to implement the infrastructure required to run it all. So, to give you the unified communications tools, the collaboration, to be able to talk with, all of your colleagues in a productive manner without, incurring the brunt of, 4, 5, 6 servers, whatever it takes for you guys to implement an Exchange server, a SharePoint server, a Lync server. All of this can be in a subscription model where Microsoft takes on the infrastructure load, and you guys just have to use the productivity suites that are available. And again, Office 365 is a product where we have Exchange Professional Plus, where you now can subscribe to your Office suite, so you can get PowerPoint, Excel, Word, SharePoint Workspace, Publisher, all the products of Office Professional Plus in a subscription model. And we can talk about the benefits of going that route a little later. You get the Exchange Online component, the SharePoint Online component, and the Lync Online component. And, with the Exchange Online piece, it's giving you full-fledged functionality of having an Exchange server in a subscription model. So the Exchange piece is as little as $4 a month per user, but you get all the benefits of having a full-blown Exchange server without the burden of having to implement, 2 servers, backing it up, maintaining it, patching it. But you can do it with as little as 1 user, as long as you own the domain, and you can get all the, full calendar and functions that we'll get into later. All the collaboration that you want with meetings, calendar requests, and all the things that you would want to run your organization in a productive manner. And it also meets, helps you meet all your compliance issues. So you guys are in the webinar, in the EDU space. Obviously you can't just have open access where you're exchanging student data or even, sensitive data for your faculty or staff. SharePoint Online, very easy way to collaborate amongst your peers, with your students or just administrative staff, where you can create your own sites, do different site collections, manage it all via permissions, and control version history. The big thing that we hear a lot is maintaining one version of the truth, so that if you guys are collaborating on one particular document amongst several individuals, you guys maintain the correct version, and that you always are working on the correct version and not emailing it back and forth and possibly missing a modification. Lync Online will give you, a very important piece, I am and presence. So, who you can collaborate with, their availability, and, the best way to get a hold of that particular person. Lync will give you the ability to host meetings. So that, we're using GoToMeeting now, but Lync does give you that ability to host your own webinars, and we'll get into what that means and where it's a good fit. And then Lync gives you the ability to do this voice and video. So you can do video chats, you can do PC-to-PC calling, and instant messaging at its base functionality. The big thing now in today's world, and it doesn't matter if you're in a corporate environment, EDU environment, nonprofit environment, whatever, it's the mobility. So you're right, you want that active sync across all your devices. Windows phones are becoming more and more popular, but any smartphone, whether it be BlackBerry, Droid, iPhone, whatever, everybody wants to have information at the drop of a hat. So, when you get that email or calendar request, you get it wherever you're at. You don't have to be, tied to a laptop, tied to a PC. So whoever's trying to communicate with you can get to you, because everybody's carrying the smartphone nowadays. And again, this is the best productivity suite across the board, so that, for your PC management, staying productive with your traditional device. Now we've added the phones. Smartphones can do so much. If you read Gardner, I believe they say 78% of the workforce in the next few years will be working off of their phone. Me personally, I can't get by without my phone in a day-to-day manner, and it's not just voice conversations. It's being able to get to a proposal or a template or just any kind of information, whether it be pricing information or whatnot, around anything that I do. And then now you have the ability, so that you're not tied to your particular device. If you can get to an internet browser, you can work. So again, the PC experience, everybody's familiar with the Outlook client, how you collaborate, in that world we'll get into here very shortly. The conversations are very easy to track, maintain, and it's easier to schedule meetings or webinars, whatnot, via your Outlook client in Office 365, now that you'll have your full-blown Exchange version hosted for you. And the same thing with your mobile device. We just recently switched to Windows phones in our world. I was a Droid user for years and years, but me personally, I found that the Windows phone opens all of my documents, and the viewing is much better. There's only so much you can do on a 4-inch screen, but being able to get to it, open them up very quickly on the road, during a lunch hour or whatnot, has been very beneficial. It's things that you don't know you missed until you have them. And then again, we talked about being able to work in the browser. So, if you have that moment where your PC is crashed and you're using a temporary PC that might not have Word, Excel, or PowerPoint installed, you now have the ability to stream Office over the web and work in a browser. And that might be beneficial. You can go to any library or any kiosk computer if you're traveling or on the road and something happens, and be able to be productive. Or another great example, the mobile tablets or iPads, very popular. So now you can use an iPad and Office together via the browser. So with that very quick overview, let's get into the meat of what you guys are looking at. And so we'll start with the Outlook client. So this is, Outlook 2010. And you can very quickly see, I mean, mail is mail, right? You still have your folder structure, your inbox, the things that you may not have if you guys are running, a POP email account or, something other than Exchange, is the ability to, respond out of your Outlook client with a meeting. So like, for instance, in this particular email, this is, us collaborating with one of our customers. We had a little backup issue. If it got to the point where we were tired of going back and forth with the email exchange, I could very simply reply to all with our instant messaging option. And the cool thing about that is that, it'll immediately start a Lync conversation, but it'll bring forward anybody that was involved on that email chain and also their presence. So we mentioned that what Lync gives you guys in enhancing your collaboration is that it brings forth presence. So this is me, I'm Shane Grumbles, I'm sorry. It immediately knows that I'm actually in a meeting right now. It's syncing with my Outlook calendar, so it's red. Eric Pohl is our lead engineer for this particular customer. He is green. So I know if I start a conversation, he's readily available. Reed Wilson, I know, is not available with the grayed out calendar. Jelly Bean. And then this particular customer, they are not available. But I would have that ability in an instant with just one click. Then also I have the ability of creating a meeting from this email. So I can start an email, and automatically the subject again comes forward. It gives me the best time for us to start. Would all be available at 11:30 today. How convenient. And then I could say the location be in our office or their office. But very simple things that are very easy to use straight out of your calendar. So let's talk about calendar, right? So sharing of your calendar, this is my calendar. We know that I'm in a meeting now, so I have the red presence in my Jelly Bean in the Lync client. But there's several ways to view other calendars. So you have the ability to lay them side by side, or you have the ability to overlay. So it's your preference on how you want to share your calendar or view multiple calendars. Obviously, if I pulled in all of these individuals, it'd be very hard to to view what was going on. Very busy, obviously. And then if I wanted to do a meeting, I would click this, and it would immediately give me the first available meeting that we had free at the same time. And then you could go from there as to figure out, would that work or would it not work. Very basic functionality, but, things that are important, things that you kind of take for granted at times. So the other piece of collaboration within Office 365 and fully utilizing your Outlook client, again, is the Lync piece, right? So we get into Lync, and again, I show you my presence is automatically red. It's smart enough to realize that I have this webinar scheduled, from 11 to 12 today. I can go down my, frequent contacts and find out, who is available to ask any questions. You see the green, Gary is available. Graham is available. He's assisting me with this demo. I want to show you some of the other options that you'll get. So what happens is Lync recognizes, not only your calendar, but if you're active at your computer. So Reed has not been active, for 16 hours. Let me find another status here for you guys. All right, so Christy Godnell, she is actually a customer of ours, but I see that she's away. And she's away in a yellow status. I know that she's been active this morning, just not currently active. And what happens is after 5 minutes of inactivity, from nobody hitting a keystroke, then you'll go into this away manner. And then after an hour, it'll start to put you offline. But very simply, as far as getting a Lync conversation started, let me get back up to Graham here. I know he's available, so I'll just go over to his name and click that, and I can immediately start a message with Graham. I'm sorry, I've got him on my secondary monitor, so let me pull him over here. And he responds, and then the added features of what Lync can do is that immediately I can enter a call with Graham, and I'll be talking with him PC to PC. I can immediately one touch. I can start my video chat with Graham, and then the big thing here is what you can share. So from a collaboration point, I can share my monitor with Graham. So if we're working on a presentation together and I've got it pulled up, then I can immediately show him what I've worked on and get his comments. And I can actually give him control of my PC so that he can start making modifications directly out of this conversation. I have the ability to share any of my programs that I have on my PC. So if it's an Excel, Word, PowerPoint, whatever, and clearly, the most popular PowerPoint presentation, just one touch, pull it up. But also, if you're using this as a, WebEx type tool, you have the ability to do whiteboarding. You have the ability to do polling. And then you also have the ability to record. So, in the EDU space, if you're wanting to use this with your students as a training piece, then you would have the ability to record whatever you're going over, whether it be a class or if it's with your other colleagues and you guys are working on an itinerary or course build out, then you would have the ability to record all of this and save it locally to your PC, or you post it in your SharePoint site. You would also have the ability for everybody to grab this attachment at the end of your presentation. So that's Lync pretty much in a nutshell, as quickly as I can show it to you, and I'll be glad to address any other questions at the end of the presentation. Unless, let's see here, Graham, are there any questions right now pending that I might need to capture while we're on it? Perfect. All right. So we're moving on. That's Lync, your Outlook client, and how you can collaborate in that manner. There's my calendar reminder for the demo. The other thing that we want to get into is SharePoint. All right, so we're a Microsoft partner. This is the last version of SharePoint, the hosted SharePoint. Moving forward, there's actually a little prettier. It's version 15 that was just released a couple weeks ago. Microsoft will not give that to their partners. It will be the last ones upgraded. So if you started today, your SharePoint site will look a little different, but the base functionality is all the same. So if you, let me just go back to our home site. So when I launch my internet browser, this is what pulls up. This is our live SharePoint site. We use it as an intranet. And I mentioned you have the ability to do multiple sites. So each one of these ribbons is a different site. All of these sites can be controlled via permissions. So, every teacher, every principal, or whatever could have their own sub-site technically if you want. and you could restrict access to those sites, based on user ID and passwords. All of these are document libraries over here to the left. So obviously any documents that you want to store in a library and make public, you have that ability as well. You have to have a user ID and password to get to this site. You can share documents externally if you want. It does require that the person that you're sharing it with have a user ID and password. And then the next version, and I hate to talk about new versions, but this one has already been released, sharing documents is a one-touch. So you would go to Site Actions, hit Share Document, and send it via email. Hey, Shane wants to share this particular document with you. They'll be able to view it, open it up, and view what you want to show them. And that's externally. So what do you get with your SharePoint as far as how you would manage? What are the advantages of storing things in SharePoint? And it's all about document control, right? Maintaining that one version of the truth. So, when you create a document and how you decide to build out your SharePoint site, we can help you with the framework and what we've done with other customers or other organizations. But, what I'd like to show you as far as maintaining one version of the truth is version history, right? If you guys are familiar with that, maintaining, the document from its origin and all the changes that have happened. So this document was originally created back in 2011, and now we're on version 21. Now, the cool thing about, maintaining version history, if you guys are collaborating, building out, a training document or a course itinerary, whatever, if you get to version 13 and all of a sudden version 14 through 19 is no good, all of those changes that you made, you can come back to version 13 and actually restore it as your master version. And the other things that you can get out of the version history is who made what modification. So obviously Reed Wilson has been the primary author on this particular document, and you can see when he actually made notes as to what changes that he made. But the other cool thing about what's going on here in SharePoint is that your presence will carry forward. I know that if I had a question about version 16, I could immediately click on, just hover over Reed's name, and if he was available, if I had a green light, I could start a conversation with him, or I could call him via his Lync phone, or I could email him straight from here. So shortcutting, exactly where I'm at, what I'm doing, and my question for Reed at this time. So that's version history in a quick sense. And then if you click on that particular document out to the side, you get a whole new set of ribbons. And one thing that I like more than any is the alert me. So I can actually set an alert for this particular document. So if it is a document that multiple people are collaborating on, and I need to know when those changes are made, every time a change is made and saved in SharePoint, I can get an alert. So you have the option of how you get the alert. Obviously, most popular is email. I'm the default user as far as who the alert is going to. But simply here, you can add whoever needs to have that alert as well. Then you can also change the frequency of the alert. When someone else other than myself made the changes, or anytime it was modified, whatever, you have that ability so that your inbox is not flooded with a bunch of alerts that you really don't care about. And in the version that's available now, you also can have the text message alert sent to you. So what that is general workflow management, right? So you don't have to track when that document has been modified. And also you can also enforce check-in and check-out, so that if you're enforcing that for this particular document, whoever checks it out is the only person that can make a change. So you don't have multiple people making multiple changes at the exact same time if you so choose that that's not the way you want to go. And then, when checkout is enforced, that's the only person that can make it, but you also, can see who has that document, how long they've had it. So in case somebody forgot that they checked it out, you know exactly who to go to via email, text, call, whatever, and say, hey, I need to make my changes. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Graham, any questions at this time as far as SharePoint goes? Perfect. So let's go back to the team site, our home site, and I want to show you one other collaboration piece that we have. So you can do simple KPIs. Now, I don't have a good example of a KPI in the EDU space, but you guys can, get creative, let your, brain power go, and if there's any particular spreadsheet that you guys are currently tracking where you would like to know, hey, are things on track or not on track? But in a corporate world, financial data is very important, right? So a CEO would want, hey, I am on track for budget this month, sales expenses are in line, cost productions are in line. I open it up and, very quickly I have the, a green light. Our particular KPI that we monitor are Office 365 customers. But so if we were behind, we would get a yellow light, and if we were way off track, we would have a red light. So, you guys can think about how you would use that in your particular environment if you so choose, but that's something that's very easy to build out with Visio services on your SharePoint site. And if we come on down, you can also do workflows, and this one is one that's in its very, basic format, right? So our office manager makes a run to Walmart, Staples, Office Max, whatever, at the end of each week, right? So we can come into our SharePoint site and request a new item, and basically what it does is I can list the item that I am in need of when I need it. So we'll say this Friday, and then I can save it. So what happens is it's saved. Trish gets an automatic notification in her inbox that I've requested paper. We need it for copy or whatever. So to take that one step further, when she goes to the store, can come back and say that she purchased it, and just do a check mark, and I can get the email notification that, hey, the paper is available in the supply closet, get what you need. To take it one step further, you can make a workflow multi-step, right? So in the manufacturing world, you issue a work order, and you need to put an attachment to that work order, whether it be an inventory list or instructions or whatnot. You can do that, and then when that particular person, so Shane submits a request, it goes to Graham. I put attachments, in that email request in that workflow to Graham. He completes it, and he can send make his attachments completed, and then he gets an email notification. Shane, Graham have done their part. It's your turn to do yours. You can do that through document management or just simple task management. Janitorial duties or HVAC duties in your schools, whatnot, or simple presentation build-outs, however you so fit. But all of that workflow management can be done via SharePoint. You also have, and one other popular thing is simple HR management, right? So people spend thousands of dollars just to track paid time off. If you think about, one thing that we built is, vacation request module. So you request a time, it goes automatically to your approval, and they can say yay or nay to that request, and you get the notification. If it's yes, you can automatically drop it into your shared calendars and say, hey, Graham has requested next week off. It's not a good idea for Reed request the same time, right? And then also you can add business logic to it. So, from another thing that we do is expense reporting for other organizations. So one particular rep or whoever submits an expense request for travel, and if it's 0 to 500, Graham can approve. If it's 501 to 1,000, then the notification goes to Reed, and he has to approve. So you can add that business logic, to your attachment, saying, where the workflow goes. And then the other, popular thing is the public calendars, right? So you can post a public calendar of all your events that your school or you have as far as tests or whatnot, and post it in this format so that all of your end users can come in here and click and find out what's going on. And then again, you can tie that to workflows. You can actually share this, tie it directly to your particular calendar, so it syncs with your Outlook. If you want to make everything that's public available on your Outlook client that you look at every day, then all of that's available as well. So that was a very quick, broad 50,000-foot overview of the components of SharePoint hosted, Exchange hosted, and Lync hosted. And the fourth piece that I'll touch on briefly is the Office Pro Plus. So in the EDU space, you guys receive very generous pricing from Microsoft as far as your ability to receive Office. In the subscription model, they've taken it one step further, so that now that you're able to get 5 installs when you're doing the subscription model instead of just the one for the PC at the school and then one for home use. Now you have 5 installs for each user, and you can use that for Mac devices, mobile devices, so your your new tablet or whatnot. If you got a new Windows Surface or a new Lenovo tablet, you can use one of your installs for there. You can use it for your home PC, your work PC, and then any additional PCs that are available. So son or daughter. But in the corporate world nowadays, a C-level person has more than one device, right? So he's got a PC, he's got a laptop, he's got his home PC, and then he's got the tablet as well. And it also covers mobile installs. So now mobile devices are coming with a version of Office on them. And it'll cover, bringing those types of offices into the workspace. So that's the 4 components of Office 365. And now I want to open it up to questions. If anybody has anything pending, I'll be glad to answer those now. I'm looking at the chat to see if anything has come up. Graham, do you have anybody with anything at this time? All right, so this slideshow will be, the PowerPoint will be available and the recording will be available. If anybody wants those, please send us an email. I won't blast it out to everybody. I don't want to fill your inbox full of stuff that you may or may not want. If anybody requests it, please let me know, and we'll make sure that you get a hold of it. If you need additional follow-up information, a one-on-one presentation with your school or your management group, let me know, and we'll be glad to address those as well. Outside of that, I want to thank you for everybody's time, and please let us know how we can help you with your evaluation. And as of now, if nothing else is going on, we'll end the session. Thank you.
The organizer has